Hello, and welcome to my channel. I am Damien Marie AtHope. In the simplest terms, I am an atheist, humanist, philosopher, and prehistorical writer-researcher at DamienMarieAtHope.com. I am specifically an axiological atheist. An axiological atheism can be thought to involve ethical and value theory reasoned and moral argument driven apatheism, ignosticism, atheism, anti-theism, anti-religionism, secularism, and humanism. Axiological atheists can be understood as a value theory or a value science atheist. As an axiological atheism's ethically reasoned and constructive pro-humanity. I am an axiological thinker, value theorist. The science of goodness, worthiness, usefulness, valuableness, virtue, reliableness, accuracy, validity, morality, integrity, beneficialness, etc., etc. We axiologists have a value consciousness. And in general, we see the architecture of humanistic humanitarianism value in people that we see as dignity beings. Places and things are not. Axiology is a value theory. In its broadest sense, it involves areas of philosophy that are deemed to encompass some evaluative or evaluation aspect. Therefore, it crosses almost all domains in some way or another. Now for a more detailed terms as to what I am. I am an axiological atheist, an anti-theist, an anti-religionist, secularist, humanist, rationalist, writer, artist, poet, philosopher, advocate, activist, with schooling in psychology, sociology, as well as I am an autodidact, self-taught in science, archaeology, anthropology, and philosophy. I promote science and am against pseudoscience, pseudo-history, pseudo-morality, things that are found in religion. I support realism, axiology, of course, liberty, justice, ethics. I am also an anarchist socialist. I support Anarchism and socialism, progressivism, liberalism, philosophy, psychology, archaeology, and anthropology, advocating for sexual, gender, child, secular, LGBTQIA+, race, class rights, and equality. So if you can guess from all that, I support or challenge that I have an eclectic variety of videos on a variety of topics. Please take time to check them out, as well as if you enjoy them, please give them a like. And don't forget to subscribe, as new things are on their way all the time for my channel. Hello?
Yeah.
What's
It's
up?
the same number. I don't see why I can't call it from my end.
I don't know. It doesn't matter, man. Whatever. It's all good.
Hey, what's up?
What's up,
You
man?
made me wait too long.
Yep.
What took you so long?
I'm busy, man. You see all the shit I do? Shit, I'm off the hook busy. I'm like fucking drowning. I'm so damn busy. But see, this I always and make sure when you talk, don't talk too loud because the phone will make it hissing noise. Like,
All right.
so I'm just saying. So if you can, you're talking fine right there. Just try to keep
Okay.
it. Yeah, that's good.
Cool.
Because when you go too too high, it'll make it on the recording. It'll go.
Right.
It'll sound normal.
I try to stay calm.
Well, you don't have to say calm. Just try to keep the volume like even, sort of. If it's loud,
Okay.
in other words, like if you want to go loud slowly. Don't go fast. Don't go because it'll make the sound like terrible.
Okay.
But if you, so, but my point is you can get loud. So like, say if you want to get loud, you go that's fine. See what I'm saying? Anyways, just all I'm saying is I want.
No, I'm not, cause I just want to make sure we have a good video, dude. Because I want to have put this out there, and I want it to be quality.
All right. Listen to this. At 1:30, I have something I have to go to.
No problem.
And then I could be back because you on for 3 hours, right?
Well, it's at least going to be one. I don't know. I don't really make rules. I'm an anarchist. I kind of just. In fact, I tell my anarchist friend I don't defend anarchism because I defend being a good human. I don't care what you want to call it. In other words, I'm not. I try to get this because he said something to me I didn't like. He said to me, well, it's always mean. It's just that people don't get me. I'm so freaking different than you think or anybody thinks that. I mean, so far outside the box. I have to try to get back in the box so you can understand. That's how far outside. No. But this listen to me. Just listen to me, please. Let me finish. So the way that I see things is value. Understand? All the words, take every word you've ever learned, throw them in the garbage. What I see is like a quality, an essence of something. I think in value only. That's all I'm saying about being different. People don't generally think in value. I only think.
I do.
Oh, well, that's good. Great. Well, okay, then you're a good.
Listen. This is one thing I always say. People always think they need to finish what they're saying. I got what you're coming from. I understand what you're saying. Now, and I feel that same way. But I've also learned through the years, I don't try to get people to understand. They either deal with me or they don't.
Well, that's true. But
if they don't, the hell with them. I don't need them.
Well, true.
Because I'm going to be me regardless.
And I want you to be you, even in this video. But so, by the way, what I wanted to say is, but my videos, unlike so you understand, for me, this is not a talk. This is an instructional video to teach people how to communicate with others. That's what we're going to do. So this is like a job video almost. I mean, I want to teach.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so I want to make this instructional so that people learn how to be better. Because the whole video we're going to do, by the way, I told my friend, I want us to really get how we interact with people in a kind way, how we can be thoughtful, how even when someone...
You want me to explain what I do instead of just doing what I do? I don't even understand what I do sometimes.
That's fine.
I just know I like to do things this way. You know what I'm saying? Explaining is not easy. I'm good with showing how I do. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And so
an example of.
That's wonderful.
Now, you explain. How about that? You explain.
Right? No, I agree.
Right? You give them the how and you see the way he's doing this. You do
correct.
That.
I'll
just do and you do.
No, definitely. Well, yeah, I'm not saying that everybody has to do my way. I'm just trying to get people to see the benefit of when you slow down and do things my way, dude. It is massively powerful.
I understand.
Yeah. So but just understand, I don't want this video to be Damien's show. Just so you understand. I mean, I have a lot of them that are like that, and I like. No, but I know, but I'm just wanting you to understand that this I want to be educational on all of us interacting and showing different ways, because that's what the whole point I want to do. And him, he thinks a little bit different than me, even though we're kind of similar. You and me are also kind of similar. I want us all to show different ways we deal with people in a kind way, though, and how we're able to solve. Because I want to give all of us a challenge in a sense, like. You're going to say to me, like, because I had to deal with two things I want to address that I deal with. One, I'm intersex. I have no fucking human rights. I mean, and no one protects me. There's no organization there's one international kind of organization, but basically it's more educational. They don't actually fight for my rights. I've never seen them post anything to defend me. And all the gay rights, they don't defend me. And it really pisses me off about the gay rights sometimes. Or I should say not pissed off. It feels hurt to me when they say they're born that way, when I also am born that way and I didn't do anything. I like women. You would almost think I was heterosexual, but I actually was born a little bit female. But that's not my fault. I was born that way. You know what I'm saying? I was born medically a little different than the normal male. Okay, so but I don't understand why I don't get support like from the gay community and stuff more. I feel like they're saying we're born this way, but then when I say, yeah, me too, and they go like, what, you don't belong with us. I'm like, what do you, I'm born this way. But anyways, that's the one thing I want to talk about. And I want you to talk about any struggles that you personally have. And the other struggle.
No, I really don't have to with their struggles. Don't you understand that people is, they want their rights, but yet they don't want to give rights? That's one of the flaws of mortals, let's say.
Oh, definitely. Well, because I get it. That I say it like this: that what we don't understand, we come to fear. That which we fear, we often end up hating. That which we hate, we often seek to destroy. So the whole point of how you stop all that rolling downhill of illogic and unreason and just bigotry, how you can stop that is when you feel the fear, don't let the fear control you. When you feel...
But I think things a little further. Why do you not understand? And if you want your rights and you want to be protected and respected, why don't you do it to others? I don't understand.
Well, I do it to others. You're not talking to me. You're talking about in general. I thought you were talking about me. I'm like, whoa, dude. I'm constantly protecting.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They want, but they don't give.
Yeah.
You see? That's what I've noticed, and that's what. I mean, if you want to be respected, you want your rights protected.
Right.
Why don't you do it for others?
I feel like that should just be this. I always like this. Even if it didn't affect me, I see another human hurting. I've never understood. I know I'm an anarchist, so I don't get everybody's. Everyone matters to me. The whole planet. Anytime I see any human hurting, it bothers me. You know, it actually bothers. You know. I don't understand how anybody, for me personally, how do you look at another human, watch them cry and go, yeah, that doesn't bother me. How does it not bother you? I can't have it not bother me.
The flaws of being mortal, Damien.
Yeah. Well, but we need caring people, man.
All of us, I don't care what no one says, we're at different levels. And all of us having gone up to, say, your level. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But this is why I try to get...
You ever saw Billy Jack? You ever used to watch that movie?
I never saw that. Billy Jack.
Oh, my God.
I'm 50, but I was raised in a Christian cult, and we did not watch TV till I was about 13. So we wouldn't watch movies because that was anything I'm not putting down people that want to choose religion and they can do it in a healthy way, like, I don't know, not hurt people. So my father could not do that. He couldn't be religious at the same time as not hurt people. So
wow.
So I always tell people when they say they're religious, it doesn't really bother me. I'm an anarchist. I could care less what people think. As long as they're cool and friendly people. That's also why I tell people my anarchism is real simple. You know how simple it is? It's one statement. I want to be a good human. That's it. Super simple. And how do I apply that to everything? Should I care about the struggle that black people go through? Am I a good person? Yes. Do good person care when people get hurt? Of course good people would care. Well, then of course I care about the black struggle. Do I care about Asian struggle? I don't know. Would good people care? Yes. Well, Asians are people. Well, then of course I care. I mean, should I care about feminism? But once again, like you were talking about more about words. The word feminism or black rights or black power, which I do support, by the way. But because to me, just one quick note for myself. When someone says black power to me, I feel yes. It's just like someone says gay pride. I go yes. Now, if someone says white pride, I do not go yes. I go, what the hell's wrong with this monster? If somebody were to, you know what I'm saying? If they say white power, I don't go the same way if I feel black power. Because you know what black power is? Black power is empowerment, not whites are not worth anything. Where when black power is different, right? Because white power, you know what they mean. They mean black people and anyone but not white is worthless, or at least is somehow lesser, or not as good, or not special, or not magical, or whatever.
Has no value.
Yeah, no value. There you go. That makes it even simple. That's why as an axiologist, I always think value. Whenever people use all kinds of words, like just in a sense for axiology, we don't care about words in a sense. Like when you say truth, that truth has a value.
I try to throwaway word. 'Cause you get
Right.
too caught up.
Right. Especially, and that reminds me. I had a friend who's a philosopher. I'm also a philosopher, but I can talk to normal people. He can't. He just absolutely can't. Because he has such academic bias, which a lot of people that are professors and scholars, they have this, where they absolutely cannot talk to normal people.
They get so smart, they get stupid.
Exactly, because what they do is they forget just to, like, I always think, who am I talking to? Now, because sometimes professors talk to me, I'm smart, but they'll use some words I've never heard of. I mean, come on, I'm not magical. I don't have some brain in a computer and Google that can go, ooh, oh, I know the word. I mean, so there's a lot of, and also, once again, like you, James, I'm a street kid. I just hear all these words. I go, sounds like blah, 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 blah. I could care less. Okay, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, here's what I want to know. That's why a lot of times online, some bigot will write all kinds of nonsense. I hate and stuff. And I'll just ask a simple question. So, was that an example of you being a good person? It's like dropping a nuclear bomb on them. They go, or they go, I'm not. And I go, well, I really feel sorry for you. You know what? I understand. I used to be a terrible person too. But you know what? Do you really want to keep being scum? And they don't even know how to fight back because I haven't said they're scum. I'm offering them the opportunity to be a good human. But they can choose for me to call them a scum. In fact, I've done it for. In fact, you know what's really funny? My style of talking to people, where I just basically ask these kind of questions and challenge their thinking. Dude, it's so powerful. Bigots will actually delete their posts. They run from me.
I love it. I love it also. That's how I find out about a person. Whether,
definitely.
You know, I want to be with them or not, or whether I want to deal with them or not. You know, it's as a man thinking, so he is.
Right. Why don't you tell me some ways that because you're a wise man. So go ahead and tell me some ways that you've dealt with some struggles or issues and how we can interact. Because I really want to understand how we can do this better. Because I feel like too often we're like yelling at each other and not doing a lot of listening.
Well, I try to be to break it down to you. My way of doing things is, you know how Mr. Spock is?
Yes, Mr. Spock. Yes.
Star Trek.
Yes, I do. Yep, he's cool.
I love to be pure logic, science, and facts.
That's awesome.
And I let you do all the yelling and all.
I don't like yelling.
No, I'll listen to what you say, and then I'll find a way to attack you.
Right. Well, to me, that's the good way, anyways.
Cool, calm, and collected. That's what I love best. You know, I love that. That's and I say attack purposely. I don't mean aggressive. I mean attack. Right. I literally attack with my words, and I let you get all. When I catch a person when they're getting all emotional and irrational, and you know, I got them. I say yes. I've destroyed their mind, and that is what I love to do.
Yeah, I have that same thing with the bullies. I want them to leave with shame that they're a bigot. I mean, because I feel like when they can make a comment, it's like I'm Antifa, by the way. So if anyone wants to have a problem with me, I'm Antifa.
Oh, you're the one they're talking about.
Hell yeah, I'm the asshole that they always say is ruining the world. Yeah, I always love when people tell me that I, as an anarchist, am somehow dangerous to society. I'm like, I don't know. Have you ever read my posts? I care more about society than probably you do. But no, I'm not saying you, but I'm saying people that are judging me as somehow a bad person. Yeah. Have you read my posts? I think I'm a pretty decent person.
No, because you know the minds is first say January 6th.
Yep.
First, it wasn't the regular people. It was Antifa and stuff like that.
Right.
Then when they found out that was Trump's squad.
Yeah, we're not Trump's squad. We're against them.
You seen that idiot that said that was just people going through the Capitol and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh yeah. You're talking about that what was that? The Unite the Right bull crap? Yeah, fuck the right. How's that? Let me stop.
No, but check this out.
No, hold on 1 second, James.
Listen,
okay, go ahead.
Then they show pictures of him helping band, block the doors and everything. But yet he gets on TV and said that it was just people going through peaceful. You see, that's lying. That's not using facts.
Yeah.
They're just putting a spin on stuff. And then they're saying it's Antifa and they're saying all that. They had cops that been arrested. They had military people that been arrested and being charged with that. And then they don't want an investigation. Get out of here. That needs to be fully investigated because there was some people at the top that allowed that to happen and perpetrated that happening. No, that needs to be investigated. And then
hell yeah, it does.
What about Black Lives Matter? Black Lives Matter was not in the Capitol.
Here, hold 1 second, James. Let me talk about Black Lives Matter. Well, I always hate this when people go, yeah, but Black Lives Matter are breaking things. And I go, I don't know. I remember the story of Jesus. Do you not? Did Jesus go into the temple and then throw all this stuff on the ground, right? Because they were gambling. So I don't understand. Jesus can protest and use, actually destroy property, not hurt people, right? Because as far as I know, Black Lives Matter aren't hurting people. If they destroy property. And anarchists also destroy property, not people. It's the dickheads on the right that kill people and hurt people and do that shit.
Yeah.
We don't even kill the people on the right, okay?
But somehow, all of that gets, just to make a point is, but, you see what I'm saying, is, but they don't see the difference. Are they blinded by the light, whichever way you want to say it.
I like what he said, that on good people on both sides. What the fuck are you talking about? Good people? If those people are bigots, newsflash, asshole, they cannot be a good person. Done.
I think the good people were home that day.
Yeah, no shit. They should have been there kicking their ass. And I'm not, everyone thinks that I'm like nonviolence. I'm not nonviolence. I'm non-aggression. Meaning is, I will not start it. But let me tell you something. You punch me in the face, I will fucking beat you into the ground.
I ain't gonna let you punch me in the face.
No, but I was making a comment. I'm not. So I believe in bigots. You get in their face, and if they hit you, then you fucking knock their teeth out. So that's my opinion.
I have a saying for that. I say, I come in peace. If that's not allowed, you can go in pieces.
Now I totally agree with that. I'm just saying, what I don't like when I see some Antifa, and if you think that you're Antifa and you're doing it, you're not doing it for my kind of Antifa, because my Antifa is helpful, not hurtful. So punching people that have never done anything physically wrong to you is straight up bullshit to me. I don't give a fuck. Done. Don't do that anymore, please. And certainly, if you do, you feeling some shame because I'm against it. How's that? Sorry, James. It's James. Well, I'm James. It has to do with anarchists will just run up to Nazis and just punch them in the face. Now, do Nazis have shit that's disgusting? Yeah, that's not the way to do things. Because, like you said about James, I am different. You know how different I am? I'm different because I'm different. How in the hell can I do this? If I torture people, how can I say, oh, then I'm a good person? Well, I'm sorry, you torture people. Or like, let's say, look at this. Is there such thing as good slavery?
No.
So there's not such thing as good violence unless it is for self-defense or other defense in Damien's mind. Done. Simple. Always ethical, always measured.
My thing is, Damien, you can't get the idiots to understand that they're going to have their point and they're going to believe what they want. I don't care. I just know who I should not be with. Or who I should not try. I don't try to convince people. Either you're with me or you're against me.
Well, and that's one where I'm different. I want to tell people what the fuck to do because I'm sick of people. Not that you have to, anyone. Not that anyone has to.
Hold on.
I like being the bomb that goes off in people's heads and tells them, wake up and care. People are fucking dying. How the hell are we not caring more? How are we able to only post one meme and say Black Lives Matter one time or gay rights matter one time? How are we able to look at a person and not say, can I help you, when you see them struggling? We see a kid in the street. How do we feel good with ourselves going home and doing nothing?
David, did you know I told you I had another call.
Oh, that's fine. You need to go?
Oh, I'm back.
Yeah.
I be thinking this Hollywood calling is a sales call. They're calling me about my car that I don't have.
That's fine.
How wrong is that information?
It happens, man. Life is constantly in free fall and do it happening whether we like it or not.
I think they should be more better informed. What are they calling me about a car when I don't even have a car? I have a car. So they're wasting their time.
Well, and no, it'll be worse if they call back again.
I hope not.
Yeah. Right on. So, could you tell us some of the experiences you've had that worked out, or that you thought you did a good job on communicating with people?
What I think is, what I've seen is when you get someone that was against you and they really didn't even understand why they were against you, and then they start to listen to you and then understand you, and then they change their point of view, like all of a sudden, I had this teacher in school,
right?
Because I went to like Poughkeepsie. I went to the town of Poughkeepsie, which is like all white.
Okay.
And
I don't know. I'm from Los Angeles, so I wouldn't even know.
But it was all white. It was all white town.
Okay.
Poughkeepsie, all white school mostly. And I was on the football team, and I had my coach. And me and my coach had an argument with, he didn't want me to call him man. He thought that was some kind of derogatory thing or something like that. He said, don't call me man. He got all hostile, was tussling around and everything like that. And then we sat down, and because I was young then, it was like high school. And I said, well, I'm not going to win by tussling with him because he was bigger and stronger. So I said, we better use our minds. So I stopped, the tussle and just started talking to him. And we just started talking. Then he just he began to, he was losing the anger and he was listening, and I could read people very well. And I was seeing. And then when we finished, and I said, by the way, man, how you feel? And then
hold on a second.
Didn't have a problem with it.
Hold on a second.
He didn't have a problem with it at the end.
Right.
It's like he said, okay, man. I said, all right.
That's cool.
Both gave a fist bump, and I said, wow, you won a convert. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't even understand why he didn't understand the calling him, man. I guess he thought it was like a derogatory thing coming from black youth,
right,
calling him man or something like that. I don't even understand. But after we finished conversating, he changed his whole opinion, and it wasn't a problem anymore. And I think that was a great instance right there.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
At the time, I was only 18 or something like that, And I said, look at the ground that was covered, And you threw out the nonsense, and we got down to the facts and everything like that, and we had a beautiful relationship after that, And I opened his mind, let's say, And I thought that was interesting. That's what I like to do, is you have to open people's mind when you're doing this. Because they're coming with their beliefs, their attitudes, and stuff like that. And you can't change beliefs and attitudes. You to have to try, you know, it's the hardest thing of all to change. Deep-seated beliefs and attitudes. But conversation can do it. And you can't do it with violence. It has to be done with love. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
that is what I was saying. Like I said, it goes back to my anarchism, or it goes back to words. I could just drop anarchism and just say I want to be a good human, period.
Yeah.
That's just my goal.
Why all the different terms?
Well, the reason why.
I don't try to label myself. I don't try to fit in no labels because half the damn time I can't keep up with them. They change it too fast, and one time it means one thing, and other times it means another thing. I don't have time for that. You say tomato, I say tomato. We both talking about the same thing. What difference does it make?
Right. So if I was a normal person and not a educator activist, I would agree with you. As an axiologist, all I would care about is a good human. I wouldn't even tell anyone what I was. I wouldn't even say atheist. I would just say good human. I'm serious. Dead serious. Axiologists care about value, so I wouldn't give a flipping shit about anything. The only thing would be about how do I make the world better, period. In a story. What is the quickest route to there? That's what axiology cares about in a sense. What is the axiology is a study of goodness, of worth, of benefit, of truth, of accuracy. That's why I love it. All that stuff is like, it makes me get like goosebumps, like, yes!
Because all the names and the terms and the labels, they're separating things. They're things that separate and divide people. You know, and it may not be the truly you. Because you don't know what another person feels about one of these terms.
Oh, well, that's true.
Experiences they may have had with them or anything.
Absolutely.
So bypass that and move forward and pass and buy that.
Right, so,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. But my style is this. I do realize that people do have problems. Like say Black Lives Matter. It is my job as an educator. I understand. I know this is hard for people. I am not a regular person. If you see me online, you stop seeing me as a person. I am only an educator. Done. That's it. So I constantly explain in architectures that seem bizarre. Who the fuck would talk like this? But the reason why is not because I'm trying to be an asshole or seem smart. I don't care about all that. To me means nothing. Zero. Nothing. Me being a good human, everything. So I can care about it any less. Just like don't ever worship me. Don't ever say I'm great or anything. Who gives a fuck? You know what's great about me? Me being a good human. Can anyone be a good human? Absolutely. My dog, cat could be a good, being or whatever. In fact, I tell people, you know how I got to be so kind? My teacher was my cat. Because it's the only person I've ever had, the only being, dignity being, I've ever experienced in my life that just every moment, I mean, if I walk by and I just walked by a minute ago, she like reacts like she just saw me and hasn't seen me for like 10 years. She's like, loving and just happy.
Our animal is beautiful.
And I said, that is...
We're supposed to be the smartest animals
we ain't
on
smart.
the planet, but
No.
we're the
Dumbest. And I realized, wow, that is a beautiful love, a beautiful kindness and compassion. I want to have that. That right there touched my heart. So my teacher of kindness, if anyone thinks it was a philosopher, wrong. It wasn't even a human. It was my cat. Something showed me unbounding kindness, unbounding love. And I said, you know what?
Damien, I thought you were supposed to have somebody else on here today.
No, I do. He's actually on his way. He was waiting his turn. Go ahead, Cory. Go ahead and tell us who you are a little bit and introduce and give us you. Oh, no, sorry. Also, we're talking about, just so you know, we're talking about you can just add your thing. Give us an experience you've had where you felt you did really well to communicate. And I mean communicate well is not like you won some argument or something. Who gives a fuck? That's why I hate, like, someone goes, well, Damien, Matt Dillahunty did 50,000 debates. And I'm like, and? Well, he did this thing, and? Oh, I'm sorry, just tell me, how many of those philosophers stopped being religious? Oh, none of them? So it didn't mean anything. It's like, and Matt Dillahunty told me to his face, because I talked to him, I tried to have a deep conversation about things, because that's the kind of shit I like to do, is have real conversations. And he said to me, Damien, you have to understand, our show is an act, kind of. It's not exactly all real. And I was like, what? Okay, well, I'm always real. How's that? Because this I'm not trying to be an atheist or trying to be an anarchist for some kind of joke or show or win anything. Guess what? I've made no money. In fact, I've spent about $20,000 since 2006 on activism, just donate to the world. At the same time that I've also, by the way, everybody, I give everything I do, all my poetry, all my writing, all my wisdom, all my art, all my history knowledge. I give my passion. I give everything to the world. You know why? Because you are so worth it. But anyways, go ahead and tell us about you.
It's hard to follow. There's not much to tell, really. I'm just a guy who likes to try to be, as good as possible, like you say. I do call myself an anarchist. I use that label.
Right.
I find that despite people's preconceptions, if you are a good person and you present them with a person they like, and then you call yourself an anarchist, that makes them reconsider what an anarchist is, and then you can have a discussion about what that means. So
could you go explain it really quick? Just because I think you're a good person to that. Because I wouldn't explain it as well, because I actually don't know enough even about anarchism to explain it as it would be my anarchism for sure, but it wouldn't be like what anyone else thinks. So go ahead and tell us what the general public of anarchists think.
Well, in general, yeah, anarchists, and I don't want to pretend that I'm an authority on this, because that's part of anarchism, is that there is no authority per se, right? Basically, the idea is that we don't believe in a hierarchical society where people are placed above each other. And that creates, when you discuss it on a broader, on a societal level, you have to then discuss, well, what does horizontal power structures look like? What does it look like when you don't have a ruler or a president or a prime minister who makes decisions for everybody? So an anarchist basically just doesn't believe in the state or authority or hierarchy.
So I have a question. Would you say that anarchists do not care if people eat, or that people are sleeping in the streets, or does anarchists have any moral obligation?
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so you're going to get some debate from people who call themselves anarchists but are still capitalists. But the philosophy of anarchism is inherently a left-wing, anti-capitalist philosophy that says everybody. It was formed alongside Marxism in the sense that everybody should get what they need, and everybody who can contribute to the entire society should contribute what they can.
Right, and that's why I say when people call me an anarchist, I go, that fits me, that label. I don't think I agree with, because of how I think is a little bit different. But this way, I'm like 98% anarchist. How's that for people? So if that's enough for you, then I'm an anarchist. So, I'm not saying I agree with every single point, but enough that you might as well say that. Yeah, that's me.
I would think you couldn't be an anarchist and a capitalist at the same time.
Yeah, I don't see how you can.
Yeah, you're right. There is the right wing, the Tea Party libertarian type people. They call themselves anarcho-capitalists, and
I call them anarcho-hucksters, really.
Yeah.
Fucking liars. Anarcho-liars. How about just call it pseudo-anarchism? Because then okay. If you say it's pseudo-anarchism, I'll go, okay. It's definitely not us. So, okay.
They've taken the idea of a lack of a state that is part of regular anarchism, and they've said, well, that means no government, and that means that corporations and private property rules all.
But I don't agree with that, and neither does any anarchist that's a real anarchist.
Sorry, what was
that's still a hierarchy.
Oh yeah, exactly. They ignored the anti-hierarchy stuff.
Exactly.
I think they're confused.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So how does anarchism deal with stuff like police? See, because I have my own opinions about it, but how do you guys think about it?
From my perspective, like there shouldn't really be police in the way we think of them now, right?
Then explain that fully, please, or as much as you can.
Well, I think, and this is still something that is being, fleshed out among myself and a variety of other people too. Like, I personally think that we could have a situation where, say, we've established an anarchist society, and everybody's needs are met, so crime rates are pretty low, right? Like, you're still going to get your odd person who does, say, a murder out of passion, right?
Yep, that's true.
And so then we have to deal with the situation. We'd have individuals, I wouldn't necessarily call them police, but who would go to that situation and try and figure out why that happened and address the causes of it, rather than just, a carceral justice system or non-justice system as it is, where you just throw people in jail and call it punishment, right?
Oh yeah. So I want to hear that's yours. We're all going to give it a chance. You've done yours. Now, James, I want to hear not James. Don't tell us what the world is, because I know it's totally fucked. But just tell us, if you could have a thing, would you have police? Or if you did, if you could have the perfect world, what would that look like for police? Couldn't you explain?
I believe the people should police themselves.
Okay.
Because if you see,
Do you mean like vigilantes?
The problem is you're depending on someone else to protect you, and then if they don't do it the way you feel they should, or how you would like it, then you complain about it. But if you were policing yourself and stop depending on someone else to do it for you, it'll be much better. That's what I think my world would look like.
Cool. Could you explain, like, maybe an example of how policing in that kind of a frame, or a way would look, or can be expressed?
You would have, say, the elders and the males keeping things in order. You know what I'm saying? Like in your neighborhood, watching out for people, making sure like there was no crime going on, and things like that. Right now, everyone stays behind locked, closed doors, and they want to call the police for any given problem, any little thing. But then when the police come in and there's an issue, they go too far or something like that, then you want to complain about it. But if you would have like handled yourself, it wouldn't have came to that. You see what I'm saying? You're depending on someone else to keep you safe. You keep yourself safe. You and the people around you. It's like every village takes care of the village.
Oh, I believe in anarchist philosophy, so I absolutely believe every area should take care of itself. Absolutely.
Yes.
And I also believe for me personally, not a government, but a federation. I see it as, in sense, I won't go into everything about my thing because it'll take too long, but let me just say real quick. There's a concept in I agree with in mutualism. I say mutualist, but please understand, I almost believe like probably 30% of their stuff, like half, a lot of it's Latin. So when anything that looks close to capitalism, remember Damien is never that way. So that crap. But then, yeah, I'm like, dude, that sounds really close to capitalism, dude. Let's throw that garbage. But you have some cool ideas that are really outside the box. I really like the idea of the bank, that a mutualist bank, because to me, that's where the money comes from, right? How does the society, right, control like business, and how does it control, like, in other words, what I mean by that is, aren't you going to make sure food has got some kind of a purity? I mean, don't we care that there's sanitation? And you have to have researchers to make sure we have the best climate. We need this architect. This I always tell people, but this is what people don't get. There's nothing, not one thing a government does, zero, except piss me the fuck off, but not one thing that the government does that a non-government body couldn't do with the same money or access to power. period.
Yes.
And so, and I don't want any government. I have never, if you read my post, never. I love society. In fact, I love humanity. So how in the hell would I allow people to be abused? No. So I don't like. So that's also why I agree with what you were saying about people protecting each other. Only thing I say is, and if we are, then we need to build servant leaders. Because if we have people that you say roam the streets and they are not servant leaders, there's always a potential that they're going to be just as bad or brutal to somebody, who knows who, but somebody, unfairly. And
Yeah.
I don't want
And
anyone to be treated like that. And
yeah,
so,
but you gotta. That's why you have the checks and balances. Everything must be checks and balances.
right,
You
and
know
that's
what
why I
I'm
said it
saying?
goes back to
Because
ethics. Nothing inspires
well,
people
not
more than
everyone
honor.
has them, and I'm not gonna wait for to decide whether your ethics are good or bad. Everything must be checked and balanced.
Right, but there is a good, right? There is such a
Yes,
thing.
there is a good and there is a bad.
Right. So that's how I see it. There is a good and a bad. And so, yes, I'm not saying that, James, that you agree with everything that I think, or everything that anyone thinks, or likewise. Because even like I said, even anarchists. But see, we all of us three, don't we all agree that humans should be treated ethically? See, that's the issue.
Yeah.
Why I'm saying why if you're going to have people on the streets, I did never say that's a problem for me. No, it's not. I trust good people on the street. Totally. If you tell me there's servant leaders and they're out there and they're teachers of teachers and leaders of leaders that teach board leaders to be teachers of leaders, then I know you have a good person. And I know those people on the street, you see them, bullies should be scared, and that's all and only people that should be scared.
Here.
Yeah, it's interesting because I mean that is one of these things that I've discussed with people is like the checks and balances, like you say. Like if you have a rogue person who happens to be in a position of the police person or whatever we're calling the police person, then what you need is like a system of a recallable system, something where you
Yes.
can remove that person out of that role and get them to do something else. Like
Yes.
a lot of people I've talked to, like even all roles in a society, like the person who negotiates with your next town over for trade goods, that person would be like an elected person who has a set term and they can't repeat that position again. Like there's all these, there are a variety of logistical ideas about how to run an anarchist society.
Yeah.
Well,
And
one second.
You found to be unethical or immoral, you replace.
And I think that one of the best standards that we can get truly, if we look at the world cultures, is I'm sorry, people, that even though I am an anti-religionist to the freaking bone, the only society that I respect are animism societies. Because animist societies are loving to the children have rights, women have rights.
What is an animist society?
Animists are people from Africa. Only places in South Africa, or no, central, it's like central in South Africa. But anyways, there's like 3 or 4 or 5 societies that are animist only. Animist is the belief that there's spirits and afterlives, or that everything is alive. But don't worry about that. That has to do with their religion. Let me tell you about their culture understanding. An animist is not outside of nature. An animist is nature. An animist is not hunting an animal. An animist is an animal. Okay, so when the animists interact with the world in a way that, if you ever see it, it will blow your freaking mind. I've seen this one anthropologist, right? He's with this tribe of these Africans, and they have no clothes on, just a loincloth, and this they have no spear. And even the anthropologist goes, we're going lion hunting, right? He goes, no, we're not lion. We're stealing from lions. We're taking some food and we're going to bring it back. And the guy goes, what? Did you say stealing from lions? Well, why aren't we going to bring a weapon? And they go, See, but if we bring a weapon, then we might use it. He goes, and if we use it, we can't get more food. And at first, the anthropologist, because he's not, the anthropologist is not an animist. So the anthropologist is a white person who is in white culture and is in capitalism. He does not understand the world of an animist at all, because at all. So he's a fool. He's afraid. Yeah, killing. An animist does not think that way. They only think like water. Water, if it even hits a rock, what does it do? Does it somehow stop? Water is often like in a river. It flows around with ease. There's no, in fact, it will damage the rock if it keeps doing it. So the flow is so powerful, it more sculpts its environment than the environment sculpts the water. And that is an animist in a sense. And I know that maybe seemed too like esoteric.
I like animus.
Well, I like. Oh, dude. Besides not believing the magic stuff, animists are the coolest fucking people in the world. I swear. I always tell people. They go, well, what would you be if you had to accept a religion? Would you be Christian? I'm like, no. What I would be is an animist. Those are the bad. Dude, when I heard them, I was inspired. Children have rights. I'm like, hell yeah, these are awesome people.
Everyone should have rights.
But
like this society is like Christian and
I'll send you the links, James, that you can see. There's the 3 societies. When you read them, it will be the most beautiful society, and they're African. That's always I wonder why people go, I'm African, and I have Egypt pride. And I'm like, dude, if you're gonna be African, just saying, if I was African and I'm gonna have pride, it would be animists. Dude, no one could read what animists are. No, it makes people to think.
Most of them, they've been subjugated and they've been
brutally.
Capitalist society and the capitalist thinking where we're destroying the planet now.
Yes, we did. Let me finish the story about the lion, but let me first say something too. It even says this, the anthropologists, some of the sweetest people that anthropologists have practically ever met are these African animists. Their personality is so loving. In fact, they do this one thing that's really bizarre, but when you hear it, you understand why. And this really is anarchism to me in like the most beautiful sense. Prestige avoidance. They feel it is actually vile if you are caught ever bragging. That would be like spitting in someone's direct face.
Wow.
It is offensive. Everyone would feel ashamed of you. They would, in fact, ostracize if you tried to show any amount of pride, if you took any credit for anything. I mean anything.
How different is that?
Yeah, you know what they are? They have zero rape. I wonder if there's any connection. Maybe if you care about people like animists do. And here's the thing, too. I always love when they go, those primitive Bushmen. I'm like, okay, dickhead. First off, that's racist. Did you know that they don't call themselves Bushmen, you fucking dickhead? That's racist as all hell. It's actually colonialism. Colonialists call them that because they wanted to make them like they're monkeys. So you keep calling them that. You should never again call anyone from Africa a damn Bushman. Okay? Those are the sand people. Yeah, they're humans. Guess what? Totally fucking equal. Anyways, that's just my little thing about hate about when people say like, oh, I know about the Bushmen. I'm like, and I'm like, oh, Damien, be a good human.
They do that to make themselves feel superior.
They do, yeah. And so, but I was shocked to find out that I felt like I need to work on my humanity more when I read how beautiful animist humanity is. It touched my heart. I was like, man, I need to work on myself more. Because I'm bragging too much. I need to, damn, those people are hardcore. But I want to tell every anarchist, this is why don't ever, when you're in public and see me, don't oogle on me or think like I'm special. I'm not special. I'm another human. And I did not learn, by the way, from the Africans. But I wish I did, because it's even more beautiful how they do it than I. Nah, I was just randomly doing it, trying to be an anarchist. Like, stop doing that. Quit acting like I'm anybody. I'm fucking you, man. We're all you. Here's what we are, all dignity beings. But anyway, but they're even better, because they wouldn't even say that. They wouldn't have defended themselves. That would be offensive. And I was like, oh,
yeah, they don't have time for that.
I was like, oh, damn, I feel guilty. I spent too much time fucking defending myself. That's a level of humanity that I still haven't reached, but It's good. That's also what I wanted to say.
Don't worry, you got time, Damien. You make it.
You know what? Here's the biggest thing. I am trying. This is what I don't understand. I'm not saying everybody has to be at every high level, but damn it, if you don't try, and then you think I'm not going to feel offended that you're not trying, wrong.
No,
I am offended.
Those people, they accept where they're at. You know, they don't want to try.
Nope.
Trying is something you should keep doing. It should never end. You know what I'm saying?
Well, to me, as a rationalist, no honorable thinker, as a rational thinker, no honorable thinker ever allows himself to be unchecked. No rational thinker would do anything but hungrily and eagerly desire to be challenged. Because if you have truth, what in the fuck are you worried about?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, when people challenge me, I always think, oh, cool, we're going to get some schooling now.
And then you have an obligation to spread it.
And this,
yes. Make sure the next man gets it.
And see, that's the key, though. I'm really, really smart. I can do philosophy and practically blow everybody away. I know the religion knowledge that will almost blow any archaeologist away. But you know what? Once you
become very good at something, you have that power. But why would you want to use it that way? Because
exactly.
That's not growth.
And that's what I'm trying to. Right. I wasn't done finished what I was going to say. I'm saying I have these things, but you see a lot of times I talk to people, I talk like a street kid. I just talk basic. Hey, cool, what's up? I don't do all this. I know how to talk epistemology and the architectures of stuff.
It's no need.
Yeah.
It's about communication. If it's like a doctor, if he uses the medical language and terminology,
exactly.
He's not going to reach the patient. You have to reach the person where they're at. That's communication.
And that's love, James.
Yeah.
Because if we think that we're superior, let me tell you something. That is your ego. And it is so disgustingly vile. It's like smearing it all over yourself. This disgusting blackness. And you're walking around with this black head. You know, I don't mean by black people, by the way. I'm just saying like your vileness. I mean like your corruption. That's what I mean by black. Just the corruption of humanity. Because that's how I see it. You've taken this vile ego and made it more important than another human being. So a thought, because let me tell you something, your ego is a thought. Gone. It's nothing. It's worthless.
Yep.
But I remember I asked this one guy, I said, I was talking about how men and women's behavior. I said, what was funny to me? Men always will tell people, I will die for my wife. And I always think in my head, dude, you don't even live for your wife. Why would I? Why would I believe you're going to die for her, dude? You won't even... And I always think, Damien, be kind. Don't say anything, Damien. This is a time, Damien, for you to learn some humility. Let somebody say bad shit to you and just walk the fuck away.
No, I feel no. You can't do that. You have an obligation.
Sometimes it's really about honor. It really has nothing to do with them. I realize, you know what? My behavior needs to be ethical always,
okay,
and then an extra dose of always.
I'm gonna talk to you in the language you understand. You feel that a person that is hungry should be fed.
Absolutely. And I don't even want to hear what the cost.
A person that is uneducated be educated?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
So you have an obligation.
I feel our whole society. That's why I give away knowledge for free. I feel we all need to do everything. People are doing nothing.
There you go.
We need to care. You know why? Because we matter. Think of this. If the only rights that you fight for are your own, what kind of person are you? Seriously.
No. I have evolved from that because when I first started, like when I had my show, I was like Black Lives Matter.
Well, they should matter. They do. They do matter. But go ahead. Sorry.
But then I started realizing and analyzing society in a whole. No, all underprotected, underrespected people. So I'm not just Black Lives Matter. I'm people lives matter now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would say humanity has value, and I care about that. Humanity has value.
I would say humanity has value.
Hell yes, it does.
That's not what is presented.
No, how this society treats us, humanity is worthless. You know what they think has value? Money. I always go, money.
Yes,
money. Money. Am I willing to give up my integrity for money? And I always go, no, I'm sorry. I guess I've been built wrong or something. I just don't want to make any money. Everyone's go, oh, are you doing well? I'm doing shit. Crap. I should be rich because I'm fucking brilliant. But I've actually done this crazy thing called I cared. Yeah, I'm brilliant. I'm fucking brilliant. I'm 135 at least on IQ, and and my emotional intelligence ability is considered genius. I mean, you know what? All that is worthless. I tell people, the wisest thing that I have ever done was not all this great thinking. Wasn't figuring out anarchism or archaeology or any other bullshit. If you want to know the wisest thing to Damien, at least to me, because you all may judge me and think all kinds of things are great or not. To me, the wisest thing I have ever done was be kind as a way of life. Not a behavior I did once in a while, not behavior I do when it's convenient, not a behavior I do just to good people, but a way of life. To be kind. Even if it hurt me inside, I would be kind. I let my ego, I always tell people, you know what a true leader is to me? They go, oh, that person's a true leader. Especially on LinkedIn. I almost vomit every time I see some of these guys like, oh! You know, ego-driven. Oh, God. I'm feeling nauseous. Get your capitalism away from me. No, but, so, what to me, when I see someone once in a while, like you, James, you know what? You're talking with me. Dude, if I didn't like you, I would brutalize, your thinking. Now, your thinking actually is fine. I like it. But what I meant is, if I don't like someone, they don't come on my show and me laugh the whole fucking time. You know what I'm saying? Or they're going to have an experience that probably they're not going to like. Not because I'm going to be mean, but because I'm just going to hold them accountable to their stuff and use all these ethical things I know how to do with Axiology to make them realize. Yeah, but but see, also I need to be a friend, right? I'm not a Google app. I'm a human fucking being, right? I'm not a Google app, so I don't go around trying to be Mr. fucking Philosopher. You know what I go around being? The fucking street kid Damien. That's who. Just fucking me. That's what I always tell people. It pisses me off when Damien, you need to wear suits and stuff. People will never respect you. And I go, uh-oh. If they don't respect me just for being fucking Damien, I'm a fucking awesome dude. If I have to wear a suit to a capitalist bag over my body to you fucking, okay, Damien's now a good person. Hey, if you don't think my values make me a good person, here's a newsflash, then I stop caring anything past that. Because the only thing that matters to me is values. Like when people are homeless, I will love the shit out of a homeless person. I'll talk to them for hours, and I won't even give a time of day to a rich person. You know why? If that homeless has something good to say, dude, I want to hear it. And to me, half the shit that comes out of a fucking rich person's mouth is a bunch of crap. In fact, this is one meme I saw. I can't help it. Sometimes I'm a dickhead. I know. I put a fucking I put a circle and an X through that one rich. Is it Richard Branson or some guy? I can't know. But it's not really to say like I'm hurting him. It's just he's smiling and rich at the same time. I'm poor and fucking starving, and it just pissed me off a little bit. Sorry. So I just put a circle because it was like my own little dignity attack. Here's my power. Watch what I can do. So I felt good. It probably really does nothing, but you know what? I hope he feels shit about it. Because you know what? If you are using your money not to care for people, then you probably should feel like shit. Because let me tell you something.
Just putting it in the bank and watching it grow and all that stuff.
Selfishness, fucking selfishness. It's disgusting. I feel like, it's like when people go, hey, Damien, maybe if you did this, we could network, you could make some money. I think, dude, I already have 100,000 people. This guy's got, I look at his thing, he's got 200 people. You're not benefiting me, first off, if I was all about capitalism. I'd be like, you're nothing. But you know why I talk to people sometimes that have about 5 people? Because I'm a good human. And you know what that other person is? A valuable member of my damn family. Because my family is humanity. Right. My family starts at humanity, and then it stops at humanity, so I only have humanity. I don't know what else people are talking about. They're just talking about other deeper connections. But to me, I only care about the big one. We're all one. Done. Science already proved that anyways. You all come from damn South Africa. That's another thing too. You're gonna realize everyone in the entire planet, there's not a human alive whose ancestry does not trace back to 70,000 years ago in Botswana, actually northern or central Botswana to be more specific. But Botswana, that's where all of us, the entire human population, there's another news flash. You know how many people there was? 35,000 people. That's it. There may have been as many as 10. We don't know. But people have to understand, people understand that we almost went extinct 70,000 years ago because there was the Toba explosion. Indonesia, maybe? I can't remember now. Details. I know so much stuff, dude. It's like a big ocean. I'm swimming around in detail. Like, what the hell? Oh, there's something. Anyways, but so this explosion happens, and what it does is a volcano, and it's like one of the big. I shouldn't say because I don't know enough off the top of my head to remember. But some kind of volcano. I was gonna say the biggest, but maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't really know. It's a big one. Put it that way. It almost killed life, so it was pretty big deal. But they thought that was it. Did it worse though than it did. It didn't totally kill everybody. Like in Africa, all of our lineages come from that one little small, like almost unit family, or at least I was actually about a clan. Probably unit family is too small. Probably my little clan of people. Okay, we were all one clan. So that's why I was laughing. People were like, well, actually, Damien, I'm a whatever, and they start listing all these different countries and stuff, and I think, do you know that's a drawn line on the ground, right? I mean, when you say Iraq, there is no real line when you go out there on the ground. You know why? Because that shit's a fucking fantasy. So your bigotry to hating other people because the line is a little bit further than they are, or redrawn lines. You want to see something surprising to people that think that these countries matter. Go and look at your fucking history, and then try to tell me that you can even go back 300 years and it even looked the same. Half the shit that in World War II got shoved around by, guess what, a bunch of fucking dickhead countries. It's like there's another thing too. People have this disabused notion when they hear this third world country. You ever heard that before? Do you know what that really means? People don't know what it really means. It does not mean Africa's. Doesn't even mean poor, dumbasses. There's the two powers, okay, the Axis powers fighting in World War II. Anybody not the bad guys or supposedly the good guys was called third world countries. That did not mean they were poor. That had nothing to do with fucking anything other than they weren't the ones fighting the thing or the ones doing the fight.
Like
another. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. So I think it's crazy that this notion of an uninvolved group of people then becomes scumbags that are third world as some kind of a low class. Like, what the fuck? You know what that is? Imperialism. That's us accepting imperialist ideas. There's this thing called a third world. I'm sorry. There's one world for me. Where the fuck are you talking? Third world? What the? Is there more worlds? Like, what are you even fucking talking? Dude, it's so hard for me. I listen to people talk sometimes and I just go, oh my God.
All right, Damien, it was a pleasure talking.
Right on, man.
I have to get ready for this other thing I'm doing today.
It was great talking to you.
Are you going to be on later? You said you're going to be 3 hours. You going to be on
well,
3
no,
hours?
I said it could be up to. I'm getting kind of tired, and but no, we're going to talk some more. I don't know. I'm an anarchist. I don't make time. I just do. I just know when to start, and then whenever the hell is
that's
good.
That's what I like to do.
I just do. I don't even think. Just do. That's what I always tell people. What are you going to do? Put up or shut up. What are you going to do? Well, I have to think about. There's this shit that. Imagine if someone was dying next to you. Would you go, well, I got to look at my planner. Hold on. Do I have enough time? You would just save the person. I would fucking hope. Save them. But, hey, maybe that's just me. I care. So, I know. I have this crazy thing, too. It really irritates me. People are like, well, my country's. I always go, oh, your country. Dude, there's one country. Humanity. Anything else? There's like this one meme I like showing where it has every country in the world and it says foreigner. Every one of them. It calls them all foreigners. It says, xenophobic map, world map, because that's my mentality. That's how I'm seriously. That's how when you guys talk countries, that is all I hear. Foreigner, foreigner, foreigner. I just bigotry. Or another thing too about nationalism, I always love. You actually feel pride for shit you did not ever do. No family member did. No one you fucking know did. In fact, no one alive did. But you feel pride. And in fact, that pride to me is vile. Disgusting. That's why I said if you try to give me pride, I'm going to throw it in the ground and fucking bury it, because I'm like, why do you put, that's toxic crap. Get that down there where it belongs, in the ground, can't see it, isn't affecting anybody.
All right, beautiful, David. Don't make me wait so long. Next time, have
Yeah.
all these convos.
We will, man.
All right.
All right.
Have a great day.
All right, you too.
You too.
All right, everyone, we can do this more often.
Well, that is the point, right? How are we ever going to start having race relations get better or understanding of any kind if we don't talk?
That's right. Most people are scared.
Well, because I think the thing is, a fear is to actually change. Because if I do see truth, the problem with it, the uncomfortable or the angst that you feel is that once I do see truth, then the question is, will I act on truth? Not just that I see it, but will I act on truth that I now have? And you know, it takes a serious courage. I always almost cry when I see someone finally get it. You know what's the only thing you need to care about? Are you a good person? That's why I always ask bigots that. I was hammered, and I keep asking them. I don't care. They'll defend themselves. Oh, no, Damien, they'll curse at me, blah, blah, blah. And I just go, okay, was that an example of a good person? I just keep saying that. So would I take that to be a good example of a good person, or should I assume that you're scum? Now, actually, I say that shit to them. You know what's so crazy? They don't even respond back negatively, because they actually feel like scum.
Yes, because you got them in the parallax.
Because what I'm doing is I'm navigating value as an axiologist. I'm only caring about the purity of the value. And because of that, it doesn't matter what their whole belief system. I can talk to a capitalist, an anarchist, and I can rip them in half. I can talk to a philosopher. I can talk to a theologian. And here's another thing too. This is what I'm trying to get people to understand. I'm not magic. I'm not special. In fact, I have videos explaining how to do this. I have art explaining how to do this. I have writing explaining how to do what I do. I am trying to do everything I can to expose in every way what I do, so you understand. I don't want you to care about me. I want you to be empowered. I'm trying to give you me. I'm trying to make you me. If you think I'm great, good, you become great. Please, I'm begging you. Here's the biggest thing. I want to stop. I'm fucking tired. I've been fighting for fucking since 2006. I've been giving up, like I said, I've given like $20,000 or $30,000 of my money. I go out and physically go put my life in danger. I've had my life threatened. I've even had one guy physically try to come at me. I just didn't have to be tough, and I was like, dude, I'm from Los Angeles. I ran with gangs, dude. You sure you want to do that? Anyways, so I checked him, but you know, there's the thing too. What did I do? I just put my hand out and I like hit him in the chest really hard and fast, but kind of like pushing him, not so hitting, but my open hand. But it stopped his breath probably, and then he stopped. And he stopped, and then I put my hands down. And I wasn't violent. I didn't even talk. I just looked at him. And then he goes, "Okay, I get it." And I go, "Good."
I think so. All right, Damien. On that note, I gotta go.
All right, man. Take care.
Message flowing.
Definitely. Love, man. Peace. That's always telling me. I don't want to fight. I want to love, man. But if you want to fight, I can fight.
There you go. All right.
Right on, man. Take care. All right. Go ahead and I want to hear more about your anarchist views about society, because I know a whole bunch about mine, and I don't want to read, and so you're my book. And plus, well, see, I'm telling you, it's like it's not I don't want to learn. That's what I always tell people. They go, "Damien, you don't want to learn anything." I'm like, have you ever read my shit, dude? I want to learn. What I don't like, first off, people understand some sympathy for Damien, because I feel like the world doesn't have enough sympathy for me. I keep hearing I need to care of them. How about here's a chance to care about me? I have a binocularity problem. My eyeballs do not work together. One is like one kind of thing, one's the other. So I actually cannot see 3D almost ever, even with the glasses or anything. It's like blurry and it keeps moving and shit. Like what the like a fucking trip? Like I want drugs, almost. And that's more mild than that, of course. But I'm just saying. So reading hurts. When I say I don't like to read, I'm not being a anti-intellectual or something. I mean, seriously? why anyone would even challenge that I am an anti-intellectual. Dude, I'm intellectual as fuck. So
I love reading, but I just never have like enough time. Like, and I have this thing where if something isn't like really, really enthralling, my brain will just say, go to sleep as soon as I start reading.
Right. And so you know the most books I've really read is, besides prehistory, but that's not because I want to. It's because I feel like I need to. So just people understand. It's in philosophy. Can't stand it. Hate it. It's fucking disgusting. I would never even read anything about it. I've never read the books, but I would never even read Wikipedia. Can't stand it. Whole thing is bullshit to me. I'm sorry, but I know it's good for people. I don't need it. It's like you're going, well, Damien, you need to have a king. What happens if you don't have a king? Whose slave are we going to be? And I'm like, I'm thinking I don't want to be anybody's slave. That's always tell people. Yeah. They go, well, Damien, I don't understand why you would hate Jesus if he was real. I don't like North Korea. Okay, I would not want to live there. You just said that God of the Bible is worse than North Korea. Seriously, worse. Way worse. Way worse. And if I won't live in North Korea, do you seriously think that the concept, that's why they don't get about axiology. They don't care about atheism. They go, what if God's real? I go, okay, then I hate a real being. Why would you hate him? Have you read the stories? This is another thing too that's so crazy to me. I feel like people they don't understand how axiology views things differently. We slow down. You have to slow down. It's like laying all the facts on the table. And then you look at how much value each piece should have, and you start putting them into sets. Like this is the same value as this thing. So these similar things, it's like this. Is punching you in the face a good thing? Certainly not. But is it worse than me shooting you? See, there's a different value to that, right? So axiology cares. But it even cares deeper than that, because where were you shot? That matters. Where did I hit you? How hard? What if I just love tapped you so that it wasn't even painful? So the whole point. That's the axiology slows it down and goes, I need more information. So this goes back to this problem too. I hear all these people, and please people, if you care about me and all, never fucking say street epistemology to me. Okay? Never. I don't even want to go into what I feel about it, because I shouldn't be a bad person. I'll just say, to me, it is a limited approach. I'm trying to be as nice as possible, and I'm not trying to. It's a limited approach, and let me explain why. Let's say that they go, well, they made these skills or these things, and I just laugh, because if you ever read my shit is fucking epic. You're talking about, it's like you going, well, this one thing is iced water. I'm like, dude, I have ice cream. You have water with ice cubes. You are not even close, even though they sound similar. What you have is so low quality to what the fuck I have. I'm like going, are you for real? It's so just beautiful. You understand? I'm not trying to, but it offends me deeply when you even put me in the same category as that stuff. Just saying. Now, I'm not saying it's not good. It's like, but I am, listen, understand this, people, not a skeptic. No way, no how. Never call me that. Do not say I'm part of any skeptic movement. If you want to say I'm as part of the free thought movement, cool. Humanist movement, yeah. Anarchist movement, yeah. Socialism, sure. Skeptic, I'm not. Let me explain why. Skeptic to me is a screwdriver, flathead screwdriver in a toolbox that Damien has. How much value do you put on a screwdriver? Is a screwdriver what you would use as your main tool to work in the world?
Depends on what your job is.
So, but still, it's still a flathead is the most limited type of screwdriver.
Yes, that's
right. So that's all skepticism. I'm not saying it has no value. So you understand, as axiologist, I understand value more than people even conceive. But what because I see it like I told you before, like the Matrix. I mean, I'm serious. I see it in its correct thing. That I realize everything, bugs, everything has a value. I realize trees. As I told you, trees don't have value. Oh, really? So if I kill every oak in the world, made it extinct, you would feel nothing. No, there's no.
Sorry, I feel like somebody who says trees don't have value doesn't know anything.
Well, whenever people don't talk in general, I feel like they don't almost know anything. But
Yeah.
I'm not being trying to be mean. I'm not trying to judge people seriously, because I actually feel a lot of compassion. So this is another thing that really irritates me more. You know what I hate is fucking smart people that are mean. In fact, it makes me want to punch them in the face. I mean, and I tell the people in Antifa don't do that, because I'm Antifa, by the way. Also, I'll go out and fucking kill someone if I had to, but only because they attacked me or attacked someone that needed saving. I would never wantonly attack someone who is being kind or someone who's not harming anyone. Period. To me, to do that is that you've lost honor to me. Fucking people honor don't do that. Anyways, so that's just me. So the point of why we have honor, let me tell you why. I have this unique thing that I've almost never seen anyone else have when I talk to people. I dominate them like there's no tomorrow. And the biggest thing I dominate them with, newsflash, is ethics. Dude, I have ethics down so pure because it's axiology. I have it down to its core, to its like diamond point. And so when I can take that diamond point and just drop it, and it starts playing music. It's like a damn, you think you're able to mess with me, and you're this disc, and I'm putting, like a record. You're an old time record. I'm putting the thing down. Now we're gonna hear music because I want to, not because you even can do anything about it. I'm gonna hear the music I want because I want, and then I can totally understand. But like I said, it goes back to the reason I can is because I'm humble. I will walk on my ego in front of them. In fact, I love doing that because it shocks the shit out of them. They don't even know how to respond. It's the power of actually realizing that they can't do anything to me, and that I will hold them accountable for everything that's unhonorable. Dude, it's unbelievably powerful. Because that's why you didn't do it last time. I really wish one of these times. You need to understand. I like play acting. It's good not just for you to learn, because you need to learn how. Dude, by the way, it's not because I like somehow I know every single thing in the world, people. I actually was trained. I have a psychology degree. I have sociology degree. I was trained in criminology, so I do understand. I had a child development, especially in relation to criminal or what's called juvenile delinquency behavior. So it's not, and I'm not done. I'm also teaching skills because I was taught that. And I'm not saying I'm like a fucking teacher, but I mean, I took 3 classes or 2, maybe it's 2 classes. Anyways, my point is, whatever, maybe it's 1. So here's the point I'm trying to say, because I'm not, who cares? I don't remember exactly. All I'm saying is the point is, I have the skill. I was actually taught to be a teacher. I was taught to do multiculturalism. People are like, oh, multiculturalism. Oh, you were actually taught? And I'm not saying there's not people listening way taught more than me. But I'm just saying, don't think I've never been taught. I took an entire course that had to do with how police, by the way, when people think I don't know that too, the course was for police, actually. I was in a police course. Everyone in there was in the fucking police. I was a psychologist trying to understand, because I cared. Even then, wanted to, as a Christian, before I became an atheist, I wanted to be a Christian counselor and help people. That's really what I wanted to do. I wanted to devote my life when I was a Christian to helping people, because I just thought it was a good thing to do. But I actually wasn't really helping that many people. I really realized later, guiltily, wow, I was feeling so proud as a Christian for I don't know what the fuck reason, because I really wasn't helping anybody but myself, and feeling, I'm so good, I'm a Christian, oh God, I'm wonderful, I'm saved for the wretched people. Oh, I feel so good. Thank you, Jesus. Anyways, I'm not trying to put down religious people right there. What I'm trying to say is, do you hear the ego in that? Do you hear the fucking selfishness? That's how too. I think I always think, do you really believe in hell? You can't really have a moral compass and say that you believe in a thing called hell, because another thing. Let's just say you do, and all that, right? How is it that when you tell me you think I'm going to go to hell, that you're happy about that? Why are you not crying? If hell is real, then aren't I going to be tortured? Isn't that the most horrific thing? If you now told me your child is going to be burned alive, I would probably feel emotional anguish. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, like the religious people who actively believe in hell, like I feel like a lot of them, they spend time like almost like damning you as a person.
Yes.
Like, rather than what they should be doing is like concerned, right? Like they should be saying,
that's
I'm
right.
So sorry.
Love. Yes.
Yeah, like
if it was real, I would be feeling, yes.
Like,
it would be nothing, because this shouldn't even listen. I always tell people, and it's a funny thing, but I'm not like other atheists. By the way, I'm actually not super welcome in the atheist community, and I don't actually feel totally welcome in the anarchist community. But I don't feel that any anarchists are against me. I just feel like they keep telling me, not you, but a lot of them keep telling me, "Oh, you have to do this, or read this, or do this, or follow this." And I'm like, how can you even tell me as an anarchist that I need to do fucking anything except be a good person? How are you telling me I have to read the fuck anything? Do I sound like I'm hurting people? Then what the fuck do I need to read? In fact, I've read a lot, right? I'm fucking shit law. I know a crap lot. I'm good as fuck about philosophy. I'm an autodidact polymath. I've learned it almost on myself, besides the stuff about psychology. I have a psychology degree, but everything else, I didn't know any philosophy. It's all autodidact. And I'm damn, in fact, I invented, just so people understand, not only have I done philosophy, I invented a debate strategy. I invented my own morality. I invented my own anarchism. I invented my own socialism. I invented my own humanism, own teaching style, my own way of using kindness. But here, who fucking cares? I did not make them to fucking somehow. That's why it really irritates me with anybody in any community, including the atheist community or anarchist community even. Like they'll go, Damien, don't you just love Macaulay Culkin? I said, dude, that's the closest person that I feel any kind of a connection to. Yes, but he's nothing to me.
Well, I mean,
other than he's just another good person is my point. So I don't worship him.
That's the point of anarchism, isn't it? Like it's like even Bakunin and Kropotkin and all these thinkers that wrote about anarchism. They weren't saying like, I'm an authority, worship me. They were always saying, we don't have authority.
Well, that's good. I don't know that because I haven't read them, so people know. Even though I talk a lot about anarchism, people, I know I haven't even fully read Wikipedia. Okay, I skimmed it enough to go, okay, I agree. Yeah, good. Mm-hmm.
This fits.
Yeah. Okay, we're cool. Because the reason I told you before, I was just being me. I was just fighting for human rights. Someone goes, man, you're fighting like you're an anarchist or something. I was like, what's an anarchist? And he goes, well, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, that sounds, first of all, he was saying it sounded terrible. Like, I shouldn't do that. You're a harm to dangerous society. I'm like, anarchism, I never even heard of that. But he said, I was like, well, but he did say some things I like. He said they don't like, government or be told what to do. And, you don't control people. I'm like, those all sound like good things. I'm thinking, thank you, which I told you before. But once I then, and that's what I'm saying. Now, I put information on my website about anarchism. Okay, I did not read all that. I put that for other people.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm just saying. I read some of it, so it's not like I never. By the way, nothing is on my site that I didn't skim through. Okay, I'm just saying I don't read it to think. I don't I just go, oh, okay, yeah. Nothing. I don't see nothing. Right, because I did it too. I scroll on my LinkedIn or Facebook. I scroll, and if I see some shit that looks racist, I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? And I think, oh, someone might get blocked. Oh, okay.
The thing, like, there are, even if a person doesn't have the time or the inclination to do a lot of the research on their own or read all these philosophers, there are people who have done the work and that we can use as resources on our own.
And that's why speaking of which. After you're done with that, then explain stuff. I'll be quiet. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the people that I really like following on Twitter is Anarchopath, the YouTuber, because they are a great resource on a lot of anarchism, and they actually did a PhD on anarchism, so they have a lot of a good base of knowledge.
Could you give us a few examples, or at least one example of what you think that means? Because you say good as an axiologist, that word is empty. It's like you handed me an empty glass. I'm like, okay, you're gonna fill it up with some facts.
Yeah, like actually, that's precisely what I mean by good.
Right.
Like a good base of knowledge would be that you can go to their Twitter feed.
Yes.
And they will provide you with information and resources and an analysis.
Oh, that's good.
Various aspects of anarchism.
I would like someone to analyze me. Just so you know, people, I won't attack you. I know I can attack the fucking shit out of people, but let me say something I never do. Man, I welcome attack like a son of a bitch. If you could purify my ideas to make them better, why the fuck wouldn't I want that? But so go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, but just there are many good many people out there who have done the work and can break things down in a way that somebody like myself who has trouble reading for long periods of time, they can break it down so that I can understand it and I can take what I need, what I agree with, and I can reject what I think is wrong.
True. Me personally, I said I kind of liked mutualism, right? So I like some of the texts. I wanted to learn more, and like you said, I'm lazy, so I thought, oh, there's a mutualist video. Now that I will do. I will learn all kind of shit in some videos. So I don't have to fucking read, because as long as I can just close my eyes and just listen, I could. So I'm just, that's why I go back to the point. When I say I don't read books, it doesn't mean I don't learn shit. It means I try to find, like, people don't realize I've actually heard almost 7,000 books on tape.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay?
like audiobooks are great.
Audiobooks, because once again, I'm sorry, Damien does not like to read, and plus I told you, I read too much, my eyes start hurting because I have a binocularity problem. They don't work together. So when I have to do it straight, I'm a lot better. When I was a kid, they used to try to have me like play video games as a form of therapy to make my eyes, because I hated playing video games. Like even now, I don't play video because you have to focus on these little. It's not fun for me. You know, there's a shit that's fun, like go pet animals. Now that shit, Damien, fun, dude. In fact, I can't wait till I move to Florida in about a year and retire this shit. And you know, people, if I haven't done enough for you, I'm sorry. I will do. Once I move to Florida, I'm gonna slow the fuck down. I'm not gonna get rid of anything. All the blogs will be out there, and I'm gonna try to, you know. But dude, it was like I'm just gonna tell everybody, right? So I always tell people, I think it's good to tell people when you fail. You should be, in fact, a leader that does not admit immediately that they do something wrong. I start losing respect for you immediately. Seriously,
you got to be able to admit when you've done something wrong, or when you've just outright failed. Like,
but to me personally, a servant leader, because that's why I always use that word, because then anyone else's conception of a leader doesn't fit mine. Mine is you're a servant leader. You know what a servant leader is? You go hand over foot to help everyone. You will step on your ego. You will help someone bury in the ground. Because I always tell people, I always see a leader when I watch a person go to a complete stranger that they have zero benefit from, then there's no way that it can help them in any zero possible way. No one's going to thank you or anything. In fact, you may even be hated, and you do it anyways because it's just damn right.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's why people go, like this one guy. Oh, I had to ban him or block him, whatever. He's an archaeologist. I've been trying to be patient. He feels, and he's the kind of liberal, okay, that really, really irritates me. I don't care if you're a liberal, okay? I'm not. I'm more like progressive, or really, actually, I'm revolutionary. But I can deal with you. But when you get that fucking arrogant, superior fucking tone with me, do you know how it makes me feel when I know that I'm on a mountain looking down on you and you're talking fucking down to me from the ground? I'm like, what the fuck is this asshole doing? Are you for fucking real? He's like, Damien, you push too much, stuff about your personal life. I'm like, yeah, have you ever wondered why I do that? I expose myself to harm, don't I? I expose myself to being belittled. I expose myself to shame, to embarrassment, to humiliation. You know why I do that? Liberal. No, I didn't say it to him. That's this thing. No, but anyways, and also, just so you know, I don't want to even call people liberals. I apologize. I really shouldn't do that. He hurt me, so I cried for the entire day. So you need to give me some little patience that I'm still mildly raging from it, because my like to be told the fuck what to do as an anarchist is fucking row. Don't ever tell me to read something, to do something, unless it's ethical. If it is not ethical, don't ever fucking tell me to do a fucking thing, unless it is ethical, or if I'm somehow hurting justice, or that, if I'm unkind, those things, if I'm being unreasonable, yes. But if I have a preference that's not yours, you can go fuck yourself. Like this guy's like, well, you have an open marriage, don't tell people. Do you tell people you're married? Well, yes, of course I do. Yeah, that's called privilege, dickhead. I should be able to say that I have an open marriage. Have you ever, I always tell people, oh, so where's all the stuff, sexual harassment for Damien? Oh, I've been out for years, dude. And I've been fucking all kinds of chicks. Me and my wife have sex with chicks and stuff, you know. I don't notice that I'm getting any things. You know why? Here's the news flash. What is Damien's main rule? I'm sure you can even say it now. What's my main rule? You say why I don't do it. Why I don't bother people.
Sorry,
Why does Damien, when he goes online, not act like a fucking predator? Hey guys, I am fucking talking to you. Act like a sexual predator just because you want sex. Dude, I love sex, but you know what? You know what's more important than that? Fucking honor. You know what you do when you behave like that? You dishonor yourself. You have lost your humanity. How can you treat other people like that? Anyways,
well, the thing is, like, with that stuff, the guys who do it have to know that they're being unethical, right?
To me, they are. I don't know. But my mind goes.
When you go online and harass.
Yeah.
You know you're doing something wrong. There's no way that you think that's okay.
And then one time a guy did. Well, actually not one time. But people know I have women sometimes send me naked pictures. Don't do that to me either. Okay. I don't mind if you send me a picture, but here's the clue. First, introduce yourself. Just do not like a guy. Don't randomly send me something naked. What the hell? You want to impress me? That shit does not. I am. Okay. We'll go back to what is Damien's. Who is Damien? I say this, I don't know, a billion times, an axiologist. An axiologist is a value theorist, meaning that all we do, entire rest of my life, will be think about what is the most valuable good behavior to do, or what is the way to cause the most goodness in the world, or bring the most worth, or the most benefit. That is all I ever think about. So to me, how could I violate someone? I want women to feel safe. That's what people go, well, they dress that way. Well, to me, I'm a nudist. I hope women could run around naked and would be nothing but respected. Seriously.
Right. They still shouldn't be harassed.
Yeah, never. Not even stared at for a long time, because that also is not what good people do. Like I said, if you are a good person or you're not, good people don't do that. So it's not like, oh, there's just. It is very clear to me. Do good people make people intentionally feel uncomfortable? That doesn't sound very good to me. What the hell? So I would say I don't, in a sense, gangbang my sexuality all over people. And the guys do that. Like, so this one guy, right? So he sends a message. He sends a dick pic. Like I say on my profile, the word is not correct to call me heterosexual. I'm actually a gynosexual, which means attracted to women that are cis, gender or whatever, which most people call heterosexual. But you can't do that because I am not a man. So people understand, my body is intersexed. That's the correct thing. But that doesn't help you, because that's not a gender in a sense. That's like saying we're not sure. It's a conglomeration of gender. So that's why you need to hear the next thing. That's why people go, Damien, don't explain, it's too complicated. Fuck you, that's my gender. You need to listen is what you need to do. So I'm not done talking. So my body is one thing. I'm trying to explain this to me, because I always say it and they go, oh, it's too much stuff. No, it's reasonable. How is it not reasonable? My body, my physical body, tried to be male. It didn't work out. Okay? But my mind is not the body, right? That's why trans people can be trans people, which is logical, because the mind is not the same as the body. So my body isn't totally male, but it's kind of, right? It's like some male, or mostly male, probably the best way to say it. I'm mostly male. I have some female, but mostly male. But that has nothing. I always tell people, I would say I don't know if I'm 10% intersex, 20, 30, 40. I'm not exactly sure. It's somewhere within. It's not more than that. It's definitely not more than 50. Because you look at they have a chart. The problem is, there's a chart that shows these are intersex, like genitalia. I'm like 2 and 4 at the same time. So even that intersex doesn't really help, because I'm like, and then it's a little bit different. I'm like, See, mine, I have what's called a hidden penis, meaning when I have no clothes on, it looks like I have a ball sack and no dick. I mean, nothing. Now, you cannot see a dick head. You see it looks like the little line where the skin's closed, and there could be something in there, but you don't even know, because it looks like maybe nothing. It just looks like testicles.
Okay.
But when I get hard, it can go 5 inches. It like shoots out fucking like a champion. It doesn't even matter. My body is different. And actually, my balls and everything can all actually push up inside me with no pain. It's probably a pseudo-uterus kind of a thing or something. I could, in fact, people don't. I care about accuracy, right? In science, I went and got my freaking DNA checked because I wanted to find out if I had an intersex condition that related to genetics. And guess what? I don't. My mom.
Okay.
So this goes back to the issue too. There's a couple different ways you can be intersex. There's actually several. One of the problems that people don't get is it can happen all the time. It's actually like 1 in every 1,000 births for men. So
Okay.
it's more than people with red
Very
hair.
common,
It's more than people with red hair in the world. Put it that way. It's super
Yeah.
common. People. This is why I talk about. Why do you talk about it? It doesn't even matter. Well, first off, if I was the only person on this planet that was intersexed, how in the fuck are you still not going to care about me? And how actually would you not care more? I'm now the most vulnerable person. That's always funny when people go, "You Damien, you don't talk enough about trans rights," and I go, "When have you ever talked about intersex rights? I don't fucking hear it ever." In fact, when I say I'm intersex, people just get silent. They've never said, or they get mild, "Oh, that's good, you know. Oh, I hope that everything works out." They go, "Yeah, I don't have human rights," and they go, "Oh, I hope that changes." Hopefully, it'll change. That's all you have to say. I just told you I have no fucking human rights. In fact, I just posted a blog, because sometimes Damien loses it, and I get fucking angry at the world, and I just want to go, you need to check yourself and your fucking privilege and understand you do not know every fucking thing. And the suffering of some people is still fucked. You know how I feel? I don't feel wanted in a sense, or totally welcomed in the gay community. I don't feel welcomed in the male community because I'm not enough male. They always get pissed off. First off, they first see me and how powerful, they think, "Oh, big dog." And of course, I told you already, that makes me vomit inside. And so then I'm already hating men because I walked in the room and now they're all acting like fucking bizarre to me and fucking like want to be like little, my buddy and shit. I do this just so you understand how I'm not bragging. I hate it. So I'm not bragging. But I've walked in a strip club before and people think I'm the fucking bouncer. Like, "Hey, dude, I'm sorry I was being too friendly." I was like, "Dude, I'm here to look at women. What the fuck are you talking about?" and then some guys will follow me because they're like, "Man, you're so cool." Because another thing too, here's a clue: they always can't understand why do women seem to flock to me in the strip clubs. You know why? Goes back to Damien's rule number 1. What's Damien's rule number 1? Damien's a good human. You know how I treat strippers? Like fucking
Like people.
valuable humans. Worthwhile. I tell them, I appreciate and value you. I thank you for providing stimulation and pleasure for me and being nice to me and talking to me and treating me nice more than you probably would with your attractive level. I really thank you. I know these guys are really mean to you. I really want to say I'm sorry for them. I don't know why they can't just enjoy you as a human and still think you're sexual. I can look at a woman sexually and not think that she's a fucking piece of meat.
Right.
She's still a human being. This is still a person. That's the other thing too. Is I'm weird because I'm intersex, so I'm also genderqueer. My brain is almost, so my body is about 30, 40, or 10, or I'm not sure, but my brain is almost 50-50. It's probably like, it depends. I think that if I never would have been abused, I almost want to explain this. If I never would have been abused, and if society was loved intersex people, I would probably have makeup. Who knows? I don't know, but maybe I would have wore a dress or something. I would have been way more feminine because
You would have been free to be.
I could have been
whatever
fucking
you
Damien.
felt
I don't even know what the fuck that was because you guys, not you, please don't ever.
Right.
Because sometimes I talk. I'm just being me. I'm a street kid. I just fucking talk. So, anyways, I've always felt completely fucking alone. And every time I say it, it really irritates me because everyone wants to fucking tell me what to do. When I tell you I'm alone, you know what you need to do? Be quiet and listen. The next thing you need to do is say, "Wow, Damien, I feel for you." That's it. Don't fucking explain. Don't say, "Well, if you had 10 years of counseling and if you did this one, book," don't ever say that shit to me. Be human. Just say, "Wow, Damien." When I talk about my abuse, or like this person said, I want to bring up one issue I wrote a blog on, and they're still actually debating her sort of. No, not really. I'm trying to learn from her. She says it's true. Okay, I don't believe her, but I'm open to learn. But I don't feel like she's talking down to me. Now I'll explain. I said, "Can you please explain it?" And then she says, "Well, I already said my first one." I go, "Wait a minute. I feel like you're chastising me, and I openly and honestly asked you to explain it to me. And you start telling me again about the top. I just asked you to explain, not tell me what you said it 10 comments ago."
Right.
I'm like, what? Anyways, but she's probably going to be rude or whatever, and I'm going to have to probably just walk away or block her. But my point is, I'm really trying to understand. I am open to being wrong. But I will not accept as an axiologist that I'm wrong when you hand me an empty cup, because she goes, well, she said, no white person can ever in any way, this is the problem, in any way experience racism. And I said, whoa, first off, I hate when people say racism is. She goes, racism is, and I'm already have a problem as a philosopher. There's no is. There is levels in different types of racism. There's internalized racism. There's structural racism, which that's when the white people cannot have. The other ones they can. They can have internal. You don't think a white person can't feel internal racism? Of course they fucking hate themselves or something. Yes. Just like it's like internal homophobia. Can I feel internalized shame as an intersex person? Well, fuck yeah. The whole world fucking hates me. There's no organization. There's no love. In fact, like I said, if I were to come out as trans, I'd probably get more love, which it wouldn't be me. So I don't know why I would have to do that. But or if I came out as gay, I'm not saying I wasn't trying to pick on trans, by the way. Or if I came out as lesbian, because here's a newsflash. When I have sex with women, I feel two things because I'm genderqueer. I feel like a barbaric male, like a barbarian that wants practically to just rape women, but I'm not going to, by the way. And I've done rape play, but by the way, that it's not. There's no violence. It's just basically me ripping their clothes off because I'm strong and just playing. It's. But also I play like a lion. But my point is now that it's not. I don't ever violence. I fucking hate it. But it's more like just play. Even when I bite, someone goes, "You don't bite hard enough." I'm like, yeah, I don't think you're getting that. It's not the violence. It's just the play for me. It's like a kid. I'm just having fun. So I like sex and I like playing. Anyways, but my point is that it still goes back to my same thing. Why don't I like violence? Because that's not what good people do. For me, that doesn't mean that good. That's all I'm gonna make a point too. I'm never saying that you can't like bondage, BDSM. If you like it and you both agree, then there's no violation of being a good person. Because if two people agree, then there is no like. I don't. That's why this one person goes. David Silverman likes BDSM. And I'm like, okay, okay. I mean, he likes. I can't remember what they said, spitting in a woman's mouth or something. And I'm like, ugh, that's gross, but okay. Whoa, isn't that terrible? I'm like, well, I mean, but here's the point. There's a thing called two girls in one cup. I don't know if you ever heard that or seen it.
Yeah, I was on the.
We don't even need to talk about it. My point was not. It was to say that this is something that has to do with bathroom behavior in a way that makes it acceptable, but would not be acceptable for me in any way. But I totally support that if someone wants to do that, they should have every right to do that and not be shamed for doing it. Because as long as you don't hurt people, who gives a shit? If they want to be human toilets,
everybody's a consenting adult.
Right. Here's
You're good.
So consenting, that means they cannot be drunk. Because to me, yes, consenting means the ability to say no, the reason and cognitive fortitude to be able to not do it. And here's another thing about the not doing it I really hate. Guys are like, well, she could say no. Okay. I do think there should be a law against coercive force. And I'm talking about like someone like me. I have a mental ability. And in fact, I actually don't. I tell I mean like one or two people. And I don't even tell them all the shit that I can do with my mind against people if I wanted to. Because I'm too worried that an unhonorable person will take that and fucking hurt people. And I will not give it to everybody, nor should it be given to everybody. In fact, there's some things I'll probably go to the grave and never tell anyone that I can do because it's just not safe. It's like nuclear. I do not think there's certain things, there should be nuclear power, but bombs? What the fuck? Anyways, sorry for a little side note, but I'm just saying there's things that are just dangerous. What the fuck are we playing with this shit? There's some shit like why are we figuring out that diseases except to be good to help people? Why would you ever want to unleash that on the world? But that's just selfish, and it goes back to states and power. And see the problem I told you before about why anarchism seems so appealing to me, just on a very visceral level, is I know power has to use violence to stay in power, and that to me. So everyone's like, well, Damien, you have to have government. I was thinking, so I have to have suffering.
Well, just define government in it. Like, I think we can have governance without like this suppressive state, right?
Well, and that's why I tell people. I say that I am for good governance. In fact, I have a blog that says that. So that's funny you say that. And by people, I never heard him say that, and he doesn't know that at least I don't think that you've read. But my blog, it's like 5 years ago or 4 years ago. Well, I'm saying it's an old blog. I wrote it a long time ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. Probably no one's even read it because it's that old. Scroll through it. It's there. Behavioral approaches or something to raising children. So I can't remember. Anyways, I can't remember exactly. But the point is, I'm saying, so there is a certain thing that we're both agreeing on. There's a certain behavior that we got to act, and that's all that I was trying to talk to before when James was here. I feel like we need to, as servant leaders, realize that we are responsible. Here's the news flash: we're more responsible than the person we're talking to. Just as we believe, in a sense, our society, that the police is more responsible than the gang member he's arresting, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Yeah. Well, in my world, it would. How's that goes? So we didn't talk about my belief about the real quick about the police. It's really real simple.
Right.
I only believe in helping professionals. Not done. Oh, I'm sorry, servant leaders, because guess who's going to be out doing anything? They'll be servant leaders. So I don't care in the sense if we pay them, but they have to be servant leaders. We need to make sure. That's why I really got offended by our psychology. It's not that I think psychology is bad. Some people are like anti-psychology. How the fuck could I be that? That's ridiculous. There's some damn good stuff, but to think that all of it's good, that's also some ridiculous stuff. There's some shit in there that's not good, especially when they make this over a burden on us to accept religion. I mean, they jump through hoops of fucking fire to make sure religion feels safe. Why? Tell me what other bigotry that you allowed to feel that safe. Because I'm just guessing. Because people don't understand. Do you know how bigoted religion is? The moment I tell any religious person I'm intersex, they rage.
Yeah.
Yeah. They rage 2 reasons. A, they think it's about sex. And they start telling me I'm homophobic or I'm gay and all this shit. And I'm like, when did I say I was gay?
Right.
I said I was intersex, asshole. You know what that fucking is? Here's a clue for anybody. If someone uses a word you have no fucking clue what it means, do not assume your own meaning. That is fucking ridiculous. Yeah. If I say intersex and you have no clue, then the first thing you should say is, because you want an ontology, which I teach, because the ontology is the qualities of whatever they're talking about. I always think if Damien sees you walking up with an empty little tin cup, and I look in and I'm like, it's empty. And you're like, this is my beliefs. I'm like, there's nothing the fuck in there. Okay, that first time I thought, okay, you need to ask, what are you talking about? Because I looked in and I don't see anything. Oh, it's God. Okay, I still don't see anything, so please explain more, because I'm where in that empty can is God. And they'll go, well, this is because, by the way, the can is my conception of their belief. They're holding their belief in their hand, showing me, in a sense, how I see it, like visualizing it for people. I actually don't see it that way. I'm way faster than that, but I'm trying to help you understand. So it's like someone walking up to me like saying, Damien, I believe in God. And how Damien, in the sense, sees it like a way. It's like you offering me an empty cup and showing me it's empty and going, see, look, it's empty. But this is evidence for God. And you're looking at it going, that's not evidence for anything, let alone a God. Yeah. So my point is that people will use these words. And that's why when people say, oh, Damien, you spend too much time, in making sure you're precise. Yeah, because I don't want you to fucking get it wrong. Especially if you don't understand. Once again, I feel like I'm an educator, and I feel like it's very possible, because even someone told me, as Christians said, Damien, you realize you're good enough, you're going to have a cult if you die. And I said, well, then all that tells me is I have this deep responsibility to make sure I'm so fucking accurate to how the cult should be that it's helping and not hurting cult. How's that? Once again, cult's just some bullshit ass word. You're just saying a bunch of people want to follow me. Okay, if you're telling me that, and I'm thinking, oh, that's possible. I don't know. I'm going to make sure, as a servant leader, that no one can ever say, Damien said violence is a good thing. Unless you also add the caveat that Damien always says, always, all violence should be done for self-defense or other defense, period. And on top of that, it should be measured, meaning, let's just say you. I'm pretty tough when I can stand and my foot's not hurting. I could totally beat a lot of people. I'm super, super aggressive. Anybody, I don't understand. That's not my personality. It's because you've hurt this intersex person and violated me. So, not you personally, sorry, but the world. Anyway, the world. Okay, I'll say better words. My wife goes, Damien, you need to talk better. Yeah, I know. I got to learn to not be ghetto. But I'm not putting down ghetto. I'm from the ghetto. I love the fucking place. There's some awesome ass people. I always tell people, what's so funny to me when people look at ghetto? That's a ghetto. I always think, man, that's home for me. Because let me tell you something. I have never felt super welcome in white culture. And guess what? I look white, but you know what? I don't act correct. And so whites always look at me and go, that guy's not worth shit. He's a stupid fucking punk. He's a scumbag. Look at him. He's a freak. He's a fucking red beard. He wears t-shirts all the time. He never wears suits. How could he, look at his tattoos. He curses all the time. How could he be smart? And then they try to test me, and they get blown the fuck away, and they're like, how the fuck did that happen? Hey, asshole, I'm fucking smart. I don't talk that way because who gives a fuck? Why are you bragging? Why the fuck does it matter? Is any of that architecture stuff going to make me a better human? Who did I learn from? My cat. My cat's not a capitalist. My cat's not selfish. In fact, I told you, my cat is so loving, and I realized and humbled me, I need to be more loving. I need to be more like my cat. So people always go, oh man, Damien, you knew there is one book that'll change your life. I'm like, nah, I'm good, dude. I saw my cat. I'm already good. That's why people, I don't understand. My world is so different. It's so very close to anarchism, though. People understand. I totally love anarchists. So it's not. I don't like to totally link myself because that's not totally correct. But it's damn close that you might as well say that. But it's just because of how I see everything as value. So anytime an anarchist would get away from value, then you moved away from me. It's not that I moved away from anarchism as far as I'm concerned. I still love it. You moved away. You're moving, not you personally, but moved away from what I see as the value. If my value is good person, and everything an anarchist does is basically pointing towards good person, how the fuck could I have a problem with that? Same thing I said, if you want to call me a communist, or you want to call me whatever the fuck, you even want to call me a conservative, fine. But as long as conservative means you're a good person. And as long as it means that you will defend with your fucking life, if it need be, because that's what I'll do. Not saying everyone has to defend by their life, by the way, but I'm saying you should at least want to care, right? But mine, personal, is I'll give my life if it can help people. But I'm just saying, I'm saying everyone has to. That's the other thing too, is you're not valuable because you'll die. Dude, I think the teachers that will stay alive and help kids are doing a lot fucking better than me. Just like this one lady that was a person came on, was blown away. She thinks I'm like, great because I do all kinds of stuff. I said, you know what? I think you actually do better than me. Really? I know maybe eventually, mine's a philosophy. It'll eventually spread out and make a lot of good. Maybe 10, 100, years from now, who knows? Maybe it won't be around. I hope that it will help bring the better in the world. But she's doing it now. I said that there's nothing more important axiologically than helping people right now, right where you're at. It reminds me, do I want a philosopher when the kid's leg is bleeding? Or just I want someone to put some bandage on it? And I don't even care if they're a doctor, right? Are you going to go, well, are you a doctor? Do you have 5 years of training? You're going to say,
first aid. Good enough.
Right. They're going to say, do you know how to, no, there's only one question. Do you know how to do this? They don't even ask. No one goes, well, are you a specialist? No, what the fuck? You go, hey, can you help? That's all you say is, can you help? And then you say, yes, I can. What I try to do too is I feel like some leaders, of their own arrogance, force their leadership on people. That's not anarchism. That is not it. You know what I do? I go up and I go, hey, I'm available for what you need. Because that's a servant leader, right? Isn't that what a servant does? Massa, right?
Hello, and welcome to my channel. I am Damien Marie AtHope. In the simplest terms, I am an atheist humanist philosopher and prehistorical writer-researcher at DamienMarieAtHope.com. I am specifically an axiological atheist. An axiological atheism can be thought to involve ethical and value theory reasoned and moral argument driven apatheism, ignosticism, atheism, anti-theism, anti-religionism, secularism, and humanism. Axiological atheist can be understood as a value theory or a value science atheist. As an axiological atheism's ethically reasoned and constructive pro-humanity. I am an axiological thinker, value theorist. The science of goodness, worthiness, usefulness, valuableness, virtue, reliableness, accuracy, validity, morality, integrity, beneficialness, etc., etc. We axiologists have a value consciousness. And in general, we see the architecture of humanistic humanitarianism value in people that we see as dignity beings. Places and things are not. Axiology is a value theory. In its broadest sense, it involves areas of philosophy that are deemed to encompass some evaluative or evaluation aspect. Therefore, it crosses almost all domains in some way or another. Now for a more detailed terms as to what I am. I am an axiological atheist, an anti-theist, an anti-religionist, secularist, humanist, rationalist, writer, artist, poet, philosopher, advocate, activist, with schooling in psychology, sociology, as well as I am an autodidact, self-taught in science, archaeology, anthropology, and philosophy. I promote science and am against pseudoscience, pseudo-history, pseudo-morality, things that are found in religion. I support realism, axiology, of course, liberty, justice, ethics. I am also an anarchist socialist. I support anarchism and socialism, progressivism, liberalism, philosophy, psychology, archaeology, and anthropology, advocating for sexual, gender, child, secular, LGBTQIA+, race, class rights, and equality. So if you can guess from all that, I support or challenge that I have an eclectic variety of videos on a variety of topics. Please take time to check them out. As well as if you enjoy them, please give them a like. And don't forget to subscribe, as new things are on their way all the time for my channel.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't even understand why he didn't understand the calling him man. I guess he thought it was like, you know, like a derogatory thing coming from black youth, calling him man or something like that. But I don't even understand. But after we finished conversating, he changed his whole opinion, and it wasn't a problem anymore. And I think that was a great instance right there.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
At the time, I was only, 18 or something like that, you know? And I said, look, you know, look at the ground that was covered, you know? And you threw out the nonsense, and we got down to the facts and everything like that, and we had a beautiful relationship after that, you know. And I opened his mind, let's say, you know. And I thought that was interesting. That's what I like to do, is you have to open people's mind when you're doing this. Because they're coming with their beliefs, their attitudes, and stuff like that, and you can't change beliefs and attitudes. You have to try, you know, it's the hardest thing of all to change. Deep-seated beliefs and attitudes. But conversation can do it. And you can't do it with violence. It has to be done with love. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. That is what I was saying. Like I said, it goes back to my anarchism, or it goes back to words. I could just drop anarchism and just say I want to be a good human, period. Yeah. That's just my goal.
Why all the different terms?
Well, the reason why.
I don't try to label myself. I don't try to fit into no labels, because half the damn time I can't keep up with them. They change it too fast, and one time it means one thing, and other times it means another thing. I don't have time for that. You say tomato, I say tomato. We both talking about the same thing. What difference does it make?
Right. So if I was a normal person and not a educator activist, I would agree with you. As an axiologist, all I would care about is a good human. I wouldn't even tell anyone what I was. I wouldn't even say atheist. I would just say good human. I'm serious. Dead serious. Axiologists care about value, so I wouldn't give a flipping shit about anything. The only thing would be about how do I make the world better, period, in a story. What is the quickest route to there? That's what axiology cares about, in a sense. What is the axiology is a study of goodness, of worth, of benefit, of truth, of accuracy. That's why I love it. All that stuff is it makes me get like goosebumps, like, yes!
Because all the names and the terms and the labels, they're separating things. They're things that separate and divide people, you know, and it may not be truly you, because you don't know what another person feels about one of these terms.
Oh, well, that's true.
Experiences they may have had with them or anything.
Absolutely.
So bypass that and move forward and pass and by that.
Right, so.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. But my style is this. I do realize that people do have points. I'd say Black Lives Matter. It is my job as an educator. I understand. I know this is hard for people. I am not a regular person. If you see me online, you stop seeing me as a person. I am only an educator. Done. That's it. So I constantly explain in architectures that seem bizarre. Who the fuck would talk like this? But the reason why is not because I'm trying to be an asshole or seem smart. I don't care about all that. To me means nothing. Zero. Nothing. Me being a good human, everything. So I can care about it any less. Just like don't ever worship me. Don't ever say I'm great or anything. Who gives a fuck? You know what's great about me? Me being a good human. Can anyone be a good human? Absolutely. My dog, cat could be a good, being or whatever. In fact, I tell people, you know how I got to be so kind? My teacher was my cat, because it's the only person I've ever had, the only being, dignity being I've ever experienced in my life that just every moment. I mean, if I walk by and I just walked by a minute ago, she reacts like she just saw me and hasn't seen me for 10 years. She's like, rah, rah, loving and just happy.
Aunt Adam was beautiful.
And I said,
We supposed to be the smartest animals
We ain't
on
smart.
the planet, but
No.
we're the dumbest.
Dumbest. And I realized, wow, that is a beautiful love, a beautiful kindness and compassion. I want to have that. That right there touched my heart. So my teacher of kindness, if anyone thinks it was a philosopher, wrong. It wasn't even a human. It was my cat. Something showed me unbounding kindness, unbounding love. And I said, you know what?
Damien, I thought you were supposed to have somebody else on here today.
No, I do. He's actually on his way. He was waiting his turn. Go ahead and Cory. Go ahead and tell us who you are a little bit and introduce and give us you. Oh no, sorry. Also, we're talking about, just so you know, we're talking about you can just add your thing. Give us an experience you've had where you felt you did really well to communicate. And I mean communicate well is not like you won some argument or something. Who gives a fuck? That's why I hate, like, someone goes, well, Damien, Matt Dillahunty did 50,000 debates. And I'm like, and? And? Well, he did this thing. And? Oh, I'm sorry. Just tell me, how many of those philosophers stopped being religious? Oh, none of them? So it didn't mean anything. It's like, and Matt Dillahunty told me to his face, because I talked to him. I tried to have a deep conversation about things, because that's the kind of shit I like to do, is have real conversations. And he said to me, Damien, you have to understand, our show is an act, kind of. It's not exactly all real. And I was like, what? Okay, well, I'm always real. How's that? You know, because I'm not trying to be an atheist or trying to be an anarchist for some kind of joke or show or win anything. Guess what? I've made no money. In fact, I've spent about $20,000 since 2006 on activism. Just donate to the world. At the same time that I've also, by the way, everybody, I give everything I do, all my poetry, all my writing, all my wisdom, all my art, all my history knowledge. I give my passion. I give everything to the world. You know why? Because you are so worth it. But anyways, go ahead and tell us about you.
It's hard to follow. There's not much to tell, really. I'm just a guy who likes to try to be, as good as possible, like you say. I do call myself an anarchist. I use that label.
Right.
I find that despite people's preconceptions, if you are a good person and you present them with a person they like, and then you call yourself an anarchist, that makes them reconsider what an anarchist is, and then you can have a discussion about what that means. So
could you go explain it really quick? Just because I think you're a good person to that, because I wouldn't explain it as well, because I actually don't know enough even about anarchism to explain it as, it would be my anarchism for sure, but it wouldn't be like what anyone else thinks. So go ahead and tell us what the general public of anarchists think.
Well, in general, yeah, anarchists, and I don't want to pretend that I'm an authority on this, because that's part of anarchism, is that there is no authority per se, right? Basically, the idea is that we don't believe in a hierarchical society where people are placed above each other. And that creates, when you discuss it on a broader, on a societal level, you have to then discuss what does horizontal power structures look like? What does it look like when you don't have a ruler or a president or a prime minister who makes decisions for everybody? So an anarchist basically just doesn't believe in the state or authority or hierarchy.
So I have a question. Would you say that anarchists do not care if people eat, or that people are sleeping in the streets, or does anarchists have any moral obligation?
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so you're going to get some debate from people who call themselves anarchists but are still capitalists. But the philosophy of anarchism is inherently a left-wing, anti-capitalist philosophy that says everybody. It was formed alongside Marxism in the sense that everybody should get what they need, and everybody who can contribute to the entire society should contribute what they can.
Right, and that's why I say when people call me an anarchist, I go, that fits me, that label. I don't think I agree with